Here's how I went from 167 followers on TikTok to over 40,000 in less than 2 years using my human design energy archetype. But before I go over the 6 archetypes, I do want to tell you that these 40,000 followers are engaged, well earned. Most of them did not come from viral videos. It was from me being consistent over time. And I have a very high conversion rate as it comes to getting people on my email list that are subscribers. That's almost 30% conversion of people being on my exclusive email list and not just followers on social media. And it's important for you to be adding people to your email list because one of my good friends once told me social media is real estate that you rent, an email list is real estate that you own. So I want to throw that in really quickly before I go into the 6 archetypes. And when you use these 6 archetypes, they're going to tell you exactly how you need to show up on socials in order to create authenticity, trust, credibility, so that you do have highly engaged followers and so that you do have good engagement. So let's go back to the first green screen. So I've got my 6 energy archetypes here. I'm going to move my head out of the way. Don't trust me. I'll move my head so that you can screenshot the whole thing. But in order to know what your energy archetype is, you're going to need to pull up your human design chart and look at your profile number. So I'm going to throw up a random chart behind me here for a second so you know exactly where to look in your chart. We're talking about profile numbers in human design. Those are coming from your sun and earth placements in the 2 columns at the very top of your chart. It's the number after the decimal. So you see after the decimal there's a 2, and then after the decimal there's a 4. But it's really easy to find if you look at the chart properties, profile 2/4. So when we're looking at your profile numbers, you have these 2 different areas of expertise for yourself, these 2 areas of that allow you to connect with your clients really well. One is conscious to you, one is how other people see you. So one is how you see yourself, who you think you are, and then the other one is more of how clients see you and the value that they get from you. But you want to use both in your strategy, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. I switched to my mic, so hopefully I have better audio now. So we have 6 different profile lines that make up 12 profiles in human design. I'm going to go through each one of them one by one, and I want you to keep in mind as I go through each of the profile numbers, is this on the conscious side for me or is it unconscious? So is it what I need to do for myself or is it what I need to do for my clients? So number 1 is the expert in human design. We also refer to this as the investigator or the researcher. This is the person who's willing to get to the bottom of things, do research for themselves, and it's going to apply to profiles 1-3, 5-1, 1-4, and 4-1. So if you're a 1-3 or a 1-4, you're going to need to do a lot of research in order to put your mind at ease before you feel comfortable showing up on social media. You're going to need to read the books, have the data, have all of the facts at your disposal so that you feel like you have a level of expertise in your field. If you are a 4-1 or a 5-1, you're going to need to have those reference tools available for you. It doesn't mean that you have to have done all of the investigation in advance, although that's not bad for you, but it's really good for you to have statistics, data, resources, books at your disposal so that you can serve those to your clients or provide those to your clients as resources. Next up, we have the natural line 2. We also refer to this as the hermit. So this is someone who's really naturally good at their thing. They didn't have to do a lot of experimentation. They didn't have to do a lot of research in order to know what they know. A lot of times you'll ask them how they know what they know or how they're so good at what they're so good at, and they'll tell you that they have no idea. And that's okay. That's good for a second line. They're also referred to as the hermit in human design because they have to pull away sometimes and get into their creative flow states. So I'd suggest if you're a second line that getting into your creative flow states and batching content is going to be really good for you because there will be times when you don't want to show up, when you do want to hermit, or when you need to pull away in order to channel your own creativity again. So this applies to 2-4, 6-2, 5-2, and 2-5. Another thing for these profiles is going to be able to trust your intuition, to trust what you know and not question it. Next, we have the third line, the one with the tools, the one who's done the experimentation, the one who's practiced, the one who has learned things the hard way and now has the tools and resources at their disposal and even real life examples at their disposal so that they can help serve you. So this is going to apply to the 1-3, the 3-5, the 6-3, and the 3-6 profiles in human design. So if this is in your profile numbers, you want to go all in on providing tools and resources for your clients and real life examples so that they can learn in an easier way than you did, so that you can give them a little bit of a shortcut, because the third line is the one who's willing to put their feet to the fire, to try and fail, to trial and error. If you have the third line in the conscious placement, so you're a 3-5 or a 3-6, you really want to be providing and working on mindset tools as well. Being able to take those challenges and turn them into something good, being able to look at your failures and say, that had to happen. That was important for me and for my process. Next, I have the fourth line. I'm calling this one the BFF. In human design, we call it the opportunist, and that is because their best opportunities come from their foundational network. Fourth line is all about externalizing foundations. What does that mean? Where the first line has their foundations in knowledge, in data, in books, in research, the fourth line has their foundations in people. So if you are creating content online, you really want people to feel like they are part of your close network, like they are part of your community. And even more so, if you can create a funnel that puts them into a space where there is more intimacy and connection with you, even better. And this is going to apply to 4-6, 1-4, 4-1 profile, as well as the 2-4 profile. So depending on if it's conscious or unconscious, you will know if you're doing this foundation so that it's for you and you get more referrals and you feel connected to your community, or so that your community feels like they have a safe space to go and you are at the center of that space, right? You are the foundation of that network, of that communal space. So fourth lines, you really should be looking at engagement more than anything else, being able to create that sense of community and connection with your clients. Next up, we have the fifth line. I call that the problem solver. In human design, it's called the heretic. And that's because we all project our problems onto the fifth line. We expect them to be our hero. We expect them to be our savior. They have a very seductive energy. We go toward them and we say, please fix it for me. And it's a little bit of a love-hate relationship for a fifth line. It can be challenging for them. So what I always remind fifth lines is that you are creating universalized solutions. You are the one who's taking in those problems and making a way of solving that problem that's scalable and replicable, that you don't have to sit and be with one problem at a time, because that can feel overwhelming for your energy. This is going to apply to the 5-1 profile, the 3-5 profile, the 2-5, and the 5-2 profiles. So depending on if it's conscious or unconscious, if you're a 5-2 or a 5-1, you're going to look at yourself as a problem solver, and you're going to use a lot of that in the way that you communicate, connect, and speak. If your fifth line is on the other side, you might not have so much awareness of these problems being projected on you or your problem solving abilities, but they are there. So you want to be solutions oriented in your marketing and the way that you approach social media. Okay, this has been a long video. The last one is 6. I call this the influencer in human design. It's called the role model. This is 6-3, 3-6, 6-2, and the 4-6 profile. So I'm calling this the influencer because in human design, a sixth line has to go through the entire process. They spend the first 30 years of their life as a third line. And then from 30 to 50, they start to turn all of that mindset work, those challenges, those experiences into wisdom. And they are able, after their Chiron return, after the age of 50, to step into that role model archetype. So all the way up until the age of 50, you're practicing being an influencer or being a role model. So your clients are going to expect you to show up with a certain posture, a certain stature, a certain ability to say that I have had the experience and I can lead. So hopefully this was helpful to you. If you want to learn more about creating a solid social media strategy using your human design chart, book a call with me. Everything that I offer is linked in my bio, or you can visit my website.